Well, good evening. Thank you to the Lions Club, thank you to Goffstown High School and the library for having this event, and all of you for coming out to see us. My name is Craig Stansfield. I'm running for Goffstown Budget Committee. I'm a husband and a father of two beautiful girls. We've lived here in Goffstown for almost 6 years now. Before that, we lived in Wolfboro, New Hampshire. I'm not a politician. This is my first time running for an elected office. What I am is a combat veteran, and a currently serving Lieutenant Colonel in the Army National Guard. I have a history of serving the citizens of the United States faithfully, and I'd like to continue to serve my community at the local level. For the last 22 years, I've led diverse groups of people. I've formed teams from individuals of different backgrounds, belief structures, to accomplish common objectives, often under stressful situations. During my 3 combat deployments, I've served in Iraq, Kuwait, Jordan, Syria, and been trusted with the lives of our nation's sons, daughters, husbands and wives, and even a few grandparents. I bring a broad perspective to the position. I've worked with our NATO allies in Germany, foreign armies in Japan, the Middle East, multiple federal agencies, state and local municipalities over the last 2 decades. Maybe just as important as a broad perspective, I bring a fresh perspective. In addition to my military service, I've been an IT supervisor for the Department of Defense for the last 15 years. During my tenure, I've held multiple roles. I've run multi-million-dollar federal budgets acting as a budget manager, which is equivalent to the town department lead. I've had to prepare, forecast budget requirements, justify critical needs, compete for resources with other departments. I've had to work in constrained budgeting environments, including continuing resolutions and budget cuts. I had to develop a do more with less attitude. These experiences taught me several things. First, anticipating future needs and building a budget in a constrained environment is difficult. It's not impossible. It takes hard work and proper oversight. Second, prioritization and justification are critical. If you can't justify it, you may want it, but you might not need it this year. Finally, when it comes to budgeting, one thing is true. The government's willing to save money no matter what it costs. If you approve a budget, it will be spent. If you place fiscally responsible controls on the budget, and the department heads will find innovative and more efficient ways to manage their resources. In addition to running a budget, I function as a federal budget program director, a position nearly identical to a budget committee member. As a director, I was a member of a council that reviewed budget requests, would analyze, prioritize, and reallocate funds across the organization, ensure all critical needs are met. I'm running for the Budget Committee because our residents are hurting. We've experienced property tax growth at a rate of 50% over the last 6 years I've been here, which after this current election is likely to grow to 70%. I believe with the right people, we can do better. Some say the solution is to have the state representatives fight to increase the level of state funding for our schools. Regardless if we're talking about local, state, federal funding, there's one common denominator. It's your money they're talking about, not theirs. Raising the level of state contributions won't solve fiscal burdens on our residents. It'll force the state to find revenue elsewhere, passing the cost on to our residents. We need to be responsible at the local level, and that's what the Budget Committee can affect. We need leaders willing to change the current budgeting mindset from automatic budget growth to a method of anticipating and justifying expenses. We need to provide the department heads with reasonable limits, ensuring they live within their means, just like the residents of Goffstown have to. The committee needs to enforce responsible budgeting processes, prioritizing needs over wants without sacrificing critical services that our residents require and the outstanding education our children deserve. If elected to Budget Committee, I'll bring my fiscally responsible attitude, past budgeting experience, and the ability to lead and motivate teams. I'll ensure they manage the rate of budget increase and provide the voters with the transparency in the process they deserve. My name is Craig Stansfield, and I ask for your vote on March 12th. Thank you, good evening, live free or die.